Well, folks, the Cheese Works has come out to Lone Jack, Missouri, right down 50 Highway just a little ways, and we're here with Chad Lyle, the 2008 points champion at Lakeside Speedway. Chad, we had a little talk on the phone last night, and I'm going to tell you the truth, man. It was so hard for me to believe that at 12 or 13 years old you had no interest in racing. You really liked sports.
I did. I didn't really care about racing. I was just all into the sports, and that's really all I wanted to do was just play.
Just play. What was your favorite sport?
Basketball, actually. I loved
really?
Basketball.
Oh, I loved it.
To this day, I love to play basketball. I'm getting a little too fat for it. I still have fun doing it.
Yeah, I used to love basketball too. I can remember even on days like this or snow on the ground, I'd be out there with my gloves on, shooting baskets.
Absolutely. We did no end of the practice.
Did you play in high school?
Played in high school. Could have played a little bit of small college, but just chose to do something different because the schools I was going to go to, they were, one of the schools that I wanted to go to. So, and I wasn't good enough to get a major college scholarship, so we just did it for fun.
Yeah, I agree. But basketball, man, that was it. I ate, lived, and sleeped it.
Exactly.
But anyway, no interest in racing at 12, 13 years old, and then when you're 13, your dad says, Chad, you're going to go to the races with me.
Yeah, I think Mom had something to do that night, and Dad says, you're just going to go to the races. And I'm thinking like, oh, well, okay, if I have to, those kind of deals. And, man, I tell you, racing is such an addicting sport, and if you're really I don't know, if you're a really driven person, you pick it up really quick, and you want to do it, you want to be the best at it, and that's kind of what happened to me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think part of it is, too, that it's just so intense. I mean, racing, I say racers on a Friday night or Saturday night when they're at the track, I mean, their lives are in fast forward and things are happening so fast and you're making decisions, and it's just a completely different world. The stress level, of course, is just way out of sight. And it's life, I guess, at the fullest.
Well, it is, but actually, in a way, it's kind of a getaway at the same time because you're getting away from your everyday job that you work, 40 hours a week at or whatever, 60, and it gives you a chance to do something else that you can focus your mind on and all your skills on, and
right.
Everybody loves that part of it.
Okay, 15 years old. And you have kind of started helping your dad out in the pit area and helping him work on the car and doing some stuff. And I think you made a remark to me about, well, I was helping him, but I wasn't really sure what I was doing.
No, I wasn't. When I first went, and when he first took me when I was 13, I started going every week after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, I didn't know what I was doing. I was doing what he told me, and I was just hoping that I didn't mess it up. So and yeah, I did the best I could with what he told me to do, and always try to do going above and beyond that.
Right.
So
yeah.
That was the way, and I learned a lot that way.
Yeah. Oh, it had to be the way to come up. I would think if you were going to try and pick it up, that would be the way to do it with a little bit at a time, because in racing, man, it has to be so much that you have to learn.
Yeah.
To get to that point where you know how to adjust the car and make the adjustments.
Well, absolutely. My dad's probably my biggest mentor, and he's the one that showed me everything that basically I know how to do. And without him, I probably wouldn't be racing.
Yeah.
I'd probably be doing something different.
Right.
I love the sport, and we're still doing it.
Yeah,
Anyways.
you're right. And doing it really good. Okay. At 15 years old, though, you had kind of started driving your dad's car, going out packing the track, doing some of the things that I'm sure racers' kids get to do that the rest of us don't. But you had kind of maybe started getting a little inkling that maybe this was what you wanted to do. You wanted to try it anyway, we'll put it that way. And so at age 15, toward the end of the season, your dad says, hey, Chad, try her out tonight and see how it goes. How did that feel? What was that like?
Well, it was awesome. I mean, but I kept begging him all year long to get this done, And finally, he was driving another guy's car, and he had that car sitting there as a backup.
Uh-huh.
And, after him telling me no 2,000 times, he finally said, you know what, why don't you just take that car out there and race it tonight?
Yeah.
So, man, I was tickled to death, and, ever since then, you always still get that adrenaline rush, when you get out there on the racetrack. It was that way when I started, and it's that way today.
Yeah.
So.
I wanted to ask you this. Did he tell you right at the track? Because I can't imagine how long that day would have been if he would have told you in the morning, say, hey, Chad, you're going to drive tonight.
Yeah, he actually did tell me beforehand.
Did he really?
Yeah, and I had a lot of anticipation working up to that weekend, and because he coached me that whole week, and this is what you need to do and that, and that helped out quite a bit. But, it was still the first night. So.
Right. Okay, so you finally get that first time out there, and I think you were telling me you were going down the backstretch or something, and all of a sudden your dad and somebody else just shot by you like you were standing still.
Yeah, I really thought I was going fast, and I started in the back of the pack, and I really think I'm really going fast, and everybody kind of cleared away from me. And the next thing I know, I'm just running down the backstretch, and two cars split me going down the backstretch.
Yeah.
One on one side, one on the other, and it's my dad and Mo Miller, and they were the two guys that were the hot shoes down there at Lake Ozark Speedway, and they both just blew by me on both sides, and I mean, it scared Evan, and it scared the daylights out of me, and I thought, you know what? I'm never going to be able to go that fast.
I can't imagine how it would be just to be out there for the first time and then, like you say, have somebody just blow by you. Anyway, the next year at 16, you come back racing at Lake of the Ozarks in a late model, and I think you said they weren't actually full-blown late models, steelheads.
Steelhead limited late model car, yeah.
But you come back the next year at 16, and you win the points championship that year for the late models. Man, oh man, you must be a fast learner.
Our learning curve was pretty short. I picked most stuff up pretty quick, I think. But that seemed to just kind of be a natural for me. I felt, and I think you constantly try to improve. You try to learn something from each year you race, and we just learned a little quicker than some people do.
Right. I was gonna say, some people it's how do you want to say it? Just pick it up naturally. It just comes to them, I guess.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Some guys are great drivers, and they've had to work at it for 3 or 4 years before they, really got up to speed,
right,
so to speak. And then some guys can just pick it up right out of the box. They're good. So it varies.
You're right. When I first heard of Chad Lyle, I'm pretty sure it was at Sedalia, and I think you were driving a late model. And for about the first 10 years of your life, you are in late models only. Raced at Sedalia and Lake of the Ozarks. That's pretty much just where you ran. But running those late models, you also did quite a bit of traveling, and you ran with the UMP Late Model Summer Series, which the wife and I had an opportunity to go up and follow them around for a week. And I'm going to tell you the truth, after we were up there, we were wore out, because it's just go to the racetrack, watch the races, hop in the camper, sleep, get up the next morning, and you might drive for 3 or 4 hours. As a competitor, how is that, man? That's got to be absolutely tiring and just really challenge all of your racing skills, because it's a different track every night.
Oh, definitely. That UMP Summer Nationals is a complete grind on you, physically, mentally, and monetarily. I mean, it's a big grind. And, I mean, unless you're winning races on that deal, you're probably not really making any money. So I know it's like when I ran it, it was 13 races in 14 days. Now it's almost a month-long deal. So, I mean, it's even worse now than it was then. I think they've cut some of the traveling down where the races were closer together than they were before. But, wow, that was incredible. I learned a lot off that.
I was going to say that has to be a real experience for a driver. For running at one track, probably during the year, like at Lakeside, you're probably going to have a little bit of different track varieties in the summer. I mean, in the spring, it's probably going to be a little wetter. Summer going to be a little drier. But, boy, racing on those, it's all different sizes. It's everything. It just has to be a real challenge for a driver to get out there and do that.
It is. I mean, you learn quick or you fall behind very quick. So there's no in between with that deal.
Yeah. Chad, in '92, your career kind of takes a little bit of a turn in that you start getting away from the late models and start getting into the modifieds. Was there a reason why you made that switch?
Not really. Bobby Hunt asked me to drive his car, and I accepted that. And look at it. Well, I started driving his car in '92, and I ran his car and my car up until like '98. So I was running the late model and modifieds at that point.
Okay, so you start dropping into the modifieds, kind of just slowly, a little bit at a time, and doing that. And there again is pretty much Sedalia.
Sedalia Warrensburg.
Yeah. Okay.